Good afternoon. My name is and I'm studying in Vidyalaya ISC. So I wanted to take an interview of you because it's an assignment, and partly because I'm interested in interviewing people and making a blog out of it. So my first question would be, what is your name?
My name is Chandrashekaran. It's wonderful, that at the high school itself, you are able to, you have this interest of meeting people and looking at making a blog. Wonderful. Please go ahead.
Thank you. So which degree have you done?
I did my MSc in chemistry, and then I did PhD from University of Science. Yeah.
Which sector does your company work in?
Actually, I run a company called Viprajan Sciences. We are into preclinical drug discovery. It's a contract research organization. What we do is we do entire contract research for pharmaceutical companies and also other drug development companies.
I would also like you to tell it in an easier way, because the audience would be students like me, so that I can understand.
Understand that? Yes.
So which services or products does your company provide?
Actually, whenever you are taking some drugs, right? So to take drugs, it has to be discovered. Means they have to discover the drug, and also this has to be tested for its efficacy. Efficacy means whether, for example, you have a drug for cancer, so we will test whether it is working for cancer or not. What we do is we do it in the test tubes, and then we will do it in the animals, and then if everything is fine, if it is not toxic, then it will go to the animal study, human studies. So which is called clinical trials. Before it goes to clinical trials to human beings, it has to be tested for its toxicology and safety in the animals. So we do that, whether it's working in animals or not.
What's your company's vision and mission?
Company's vision is to help drug discovery companies to fasten their drug discovery research by providing entire research capabilities, so that they can fasten their drug discovery processes, and then which will eventually help to take the drugs to the market.
So why did you decide to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, that's interesting question. So I was always wanted to do something on my own. I was working initially. I got a lot of experience in working in the similar field. I was in a startup company, and then also I worked for a company called AstraZeneca. So where I learned a lot of drug discovery processes. So with this experience, because there are opportunities to start a company, so that's how that was my passion to start something on my own.
How did your entrepreneurship journey start?
It was like when I was working only, I was thinking about what to start on my own. For example, if you want to start a company, but you should know what are the areas you want to start, how you're going to get the money to start the company. So I've done a lot of work before I start the company. Moment I decided that these are the areas I can start a company. This is my experience, and also have 18 years of experience in the industry. So with all these things, I think I felt that at the time I left the company which I was working for AstraZeneca, and then started on my own. So I had some money which I earned from the AstraZeneca days. So I put in my own money into the company, and raised some money from my friends and families. So that's how the company started, my first company.
So, what do you believe is the most hardest thing about being an entrepreneur?
Most hardest thing I think is the starting point. Everybody wants to become an entrepreneur. Sometimes even when I started, I was not sure whether I can start a company. So taking the decision of leaving the comfort zone where you have the salaries and you have a stable job, leaving that and starting a company, taking that step, taking that decision is the hardest. And then of course, once you leave the company, once you leave the job, start the company, then there are a lot of hard work you have to do to manage the company, starting because you don't have that experience of running a company. You always being an employee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, could you tell me one event of your entrepreneurship which you liked?
In fact, there's several events where I enjoyed this one, the starting a company to bringing people, employees, and taking it forward. I think one of the things, the eventful in my first company is when I got the first international project. Where one of the biggest company called Dove Sciences. We are a very small company. At that point of time, they came and given the project to us. That was a turning point. Like that, the several events which eventually happened. For example, we got a government funding around more than a crore, which is actually almost a 50% grant. Like that, eventually, and then the third milestone was signing up a project with a pharmaceutical company called Alchem Laboratories. That has actually turning point for the company, where the same company has invested and then taken over my first company. So yeah, these are the three events in my first company are very kind of important turning points.
So this is when you ask how many companies have you started?
Yeah.
Ask.
So, how many companies have you started?
Yeah. I think it's this is my third company, which I'm talking about, Represent Biosciences. My first company was a R&D company I started, where I exited. Exited means I sold that company to a pharmaceutical company. The second company, which was I worked for, that was my first job company called Bangalore Jenny. So that also the company was sold to a international company called Merck Life Sciences. I brought that company back from Merck Life Sciences. So that was my second company called Jenny Laboratories. That also I exited, means I sold that company to Mumbai-based company. So this is my third company.
Okay. So, in this journey, what motivates you?
I think motivation is the kind of satisfaction that you are not just going for a job, but you are actually giving jobs to people. And there's, for example, in my existing company, around 90 people are working. For me, it's like having 90 families, right? Working with them, and then Also, this company is kind of impact it is creating working with several discovery companies and also helping them to develop the drugs or formulations. I think this will have directly or indirectly have the impact on the human lives going forward. For example, in my first company, we developed around 5 molecules, and all the 5 molecules are now being used to treat the patients for cancer to osteoarthritis to a lot of things. So a small company now, that company is become very big, around 700, 800 people are working. So the satisfaction is that you're creating jobs. The second thing is also you're doing something which will actually impact on the society at large. So it's very satisfying that way.
Okay. So in your journey, whose contribution is there? What thing has or whatever has contribution?
I think there's so many people, starting from my family, my mom, my parents, to my wife and my son, everyone. But I think one person, if I may take the name, is my mother. And my mother is the kind of motivation and to do, start a company on my own. And of course, there are a lot of teachers, and for example, the company I work with, first company, Dr. Babu started that company. So that was kind of motivation for me. He started from, he was a professor and then started the company, and then he made such a big difference in both in education, training, and also in the technology space in India. So I think these are the people actually motivating. Of course, a lot of teachers, including my PhD guide, Professor Nagaraja from University of Science.
So how would you define success?
Success is a process. It is. I always see that the journey is what for me the success. I don't consider the end result as the success. So in my journey of entrepreneurship, like I did something which I felt like I was not able to do it, and also I created two companies and exited them. The jobs are created. I think these are things happen as a process. But thing is, my success as an entrepreneurship is my journey. Because a lot of learning has gone in, and there's so much I enjoyed doing that. So I call that process as a success.
So what message would you give to children like me?
I think I'm very happy, just at this age, at this 7th standard, you are able to talk to somebody like an entrepreneur, and then want to know about entrepreneurship and what its impact. I think it's most important thing is for students like you is to focus on basic science, basic what you're studying. Academics are very important. At the same time, also see what extracurricular activities you can do, and then learn about them. Also interacting with, doing something, thinking about environment, thinking about doing something for others, cultivating some kind of helping nature, and then of course dreaming. Just learn to dream. It may be a very small thing, like I want to go and play something. That itself is a dream. So how do you dream? kind of those process. I think it's good to learn, and then those process actually will make you. I want to do something. I want to become something. I want to be like somebody else. So those kind of things will come when you start dreaming about and talking to people.
So, overall, how would you define your whole entrepreneurship journey?
I would say that it is accidentally I started my company and become an accidental entrepreneur. But I really enjoyed my journey. I would rate it as a success, my own terms. As I said, created. I'm quite satisfied as an entrepreneur.
So, one last question. Could you please tell all your 3 companies' names?
My first company was a company called Enzyme Biosciences. Basically, is a biologics company, R&D company. Now is part of Alchem Laboratories. My second company was the first Malbio company called Bangalore Genie. Started in '89. Was sold to Merck. I brought that company from Merck, and then I used to call that Genie Laboratories now. My third company name is Viprajan Biosciences, which right now I'm running it now. Basically focused on the contract research.
Okay, that is a wonderful interview. Thank you.
Thank you, Tejas, for this opportunity, and all the best for you and your friends, and do well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good, Teja.